As a U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Championships, featuring the Battle of the Monster Trucks. Hi again, everybody. I'm Ken Brew. You know the man to my left, the John Wayne of truck pulling. He is that big in this sport, Mike Galloway. How you been, buddy?
Oh, it's great, Ken Brew. We've got a lot of action tonight, a lot of good times, and a lot of nice trucks.
Two-wheel drives, four-wheel drives. We've got a monster truck against a monster tank, and some great funny cars like the one we're standing right in front of.
This is Mike Hoff's Nitro Express, and he'll be making a pass or two tonight. Also got a very fine setup of dragsters, some beautiful dragsters on hand to pull the sled. A lot of excitement.
Modified four-wheel drives, some good competitors, a lot from the eastern part of the United States.
We've got a lot of trucks that we don't normally see that are here on the East Coast that are very strong contenders anywhere they go. Then we have some trucks from the Midwest also, so all in all, a very nice rounded competition in four-wheel drive.
Now, what about this continuing battle between monster trucks and tank trucks? It just seems like every week it's a new matchup, and we got another good one tonight.
We got a couple of new ones as a fact. We have another new tank, and then we have a beautiful Black Stallion monster truck, something new. We've only seen it a couple of times, and this truck is absolutely beautiful. It's going to be a great evening, and we've got two-wheel drives, my favorite.
You ready to go, Duke?
I'm ready for the action tonight.
All righty. The Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Championships, featuring the Battle of the Monster Trucks, is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood age for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Funny cars, the Nitro Express, Mike Hoff from Littleton, PA behind the wheel against the Heart Attack. And of course, that can only be Bob Hart from Nashua, New Hampshire. Two guys that really know how to put on a show, Mike.
Well, they do, and Mike Hoff is a professional. I mean, he's as great as you'll ever see. He was one of the originators of this funny car pulling. Really puts it out in style, and what a beautiful job.
Oh,
that Nitro Express is just a dynamite piece.
It's great when the lights just kind of bounce off it like that. You know, we talk about painting and all that, but really a lot of fine detail work goes into the body of these cars.
Oh, true, Ken Brew. And this one is just, this Nitro Express is just dynamite, as well as the paint job on the Heart Attack. Now, that's the gold on that, the gold leafing on it is 24 karat gold. It's
wow.
Just leafing is laid on it. Just an absolute beautiful vehicle. And Mike Hoff, when he's not out on the road running his funny car or his dragster, he promotes the only weekly pull track in America.
Well, this is side by side, each hauling the sled. The Nitro Express, a Dodge Daytona, the Heart Attack, an 86 Trans Am. They will go side by side down the track, hauling weight.
Mike Hoff, hole shot.
Well, that was no contest. It was the Nitro Express all the way, as the Heart Attack really never got going.
Mike Hoff pulled a hole shot. I think the Heart had some trouble getting out of the hole just right. The sled hooking up. Look at the flames burning off the Nitro Express. And then when Hart did get going, he drifted over to the right. He is currently sitting beside or behind the sled that Nitro Express was pulling all over the track. But it was two exciting runs, and it's a good way to start a program.
We're going to look at it again, Mike, and at the end, let's talk about the flame that we saw. That's just nitro burning off at the end.
Look at Hoff lift the sled up and take off and run with it. You can tell on the other side, Bob Hart is a little bit light on the front end as he takes off down the track. But Mike Hoff has it all in hand, and he just blows it out the door. I mean, just absolutely picture-perfect pull right on down the track. They locked the sled up to try to slow him down before he hit the wall, but a good job.
And that little bit of a flare at the end off the side of the car, nothing really to get worried about, just excess fuel, huh?
He's just burning off some excess alcohol in the engine, and that'll build up and settle down, and nothing to be concerned about at all.
And a nice track tonight, kind of a loose, muddy type of surface, but Mike Galloway, I think for these four-wheel drive competitors, it should be a good surface to run on tonight.
I think it's going to be good for both classes, Ken Brew. It is soft. It's very, very soft. But you know what? It's got a lot of bite to it. It'll suck your shoes. It just, shoes kind of bite into it as you walk across of it. Here's Gone Bananas, and it's brand new. Nancy drives it.
Nancy Dion, her brother, or husband, I should say, Brian, got her interested. They met in 1980. He had been a puller himself, and Nancy and he hooked up in 1980. She got interested. She pulls inside, he pulls outside, and the truck is Gone Bananas.
It's a beautiful truck. It's a real short wheelbase truck, and you know, the horsepower and the cubic inch in comparison to some of the other vehicles is a little smaller than most of them here tonight, but the thing works real well. It
Well,
won't be working again for Nancy because right out of the hole, she snapped the front axle. The front axle is just went away on her completely, and I think they broke an axle on it recently, and I believe they broke another axle just now when she hooked on it. It's the kind of track we're looking at where it's got a lot of bite in it. It doesn't look that way. A lot of people are going to come on the vehicles too hard at the starting line. We may see a lot of damage tonight, but I think when we look at this in a replay, that we'll see what happened, that the front end will snap on it right out of the hole. So let's watch her. Watch the front tires. When she takes off with it, they'll spin and hook just a little while. If she gets a good bite, here they come out. They're getting a hold of it. Now they start to spin right there. See her whip it to the right and left, and right there is where they snap the front end. You see the tire just quit, and it's over with for her for the whole evening.
Well, Gone Bananas dies on the vine tonight. Nancy Dion from Danielson, Connecticut, will not go home with the big prize. Well, here is lady number 2 on the evening. This is Paula Ewan from Oklahoma City in the 86 Chevy S10 Black Gold with the big old 628 Rodak engine. You know, Paula and Kenneth Ewan are one of the great husband and wife pulling teams on this circuit, but there is a third party. David Collins is their chief mechanic. And lo and behold, here is David down at trackside with our very own Mike Galloway. Mike?
Thanks, Ken. I'm with David Collins, and David Collins is the chief mechanic for the Ewan pulling team. And Dave, what does it involve, say, on a Saturday at a pull? What do you do?
Well, I've got 3 trucks that I have to go over from end to end, Mike. Start at one end and don't stop until you get to the other end.
Major points that you hit on the trucks.
You run the overhead, you check the valves, see if you've got any bent bush rods, check the plugs, make sure they're, burnt plugs. You check the clutch, transmission. Every once in a while you have to get in the transfer case for in front end, but most generally not.
David, what about oil in one of these? How often do you have to change the oil in one of them?
We change it every day. Sometimes we'll change it. If we have to make like 3 runs, we'll change it between the second and third run for coolant.
Now, to keep the engine cool, you do it by oil because you carry no water inside the motor.
Alcohol cools the top, 3 gallons of oil cools the bottom end.
David, we talk from time to time about making a gear change in these vehicles. How difficult is it to change the gears?
Well, it's really not very difficult. It takes us about 4 minutes to change gears if we're in a hurry.
Pull the top off the transmission?
Pull the back off of it. Pull the reverser off of it. And it has front set and a mid set and a reverser, and we change the middle set. You can change either set, but the mid set's the easiest one to change.
Well, David Collins has got a busy day when it comes pull time.
The Oklahoman Black Gold.
Watch the big motor come to life. She's got a good track to hook on. Could make it. Look out. She did it.
Oh, she'd like to drive it halfway to Cape Cod.
Oh, beautiful job. And that's no doubt a full pull in anyone's book.
Beautiful pull for Paula Ewan.
There's David. Giving her a little word of encouragement, telling her to back up a little bit. David, by the way, is Paula's brother.
So it's all in the family, isn't it?
All in the family.
Wonder how David, the brother-in-law, gets along with Ken, the brother-in-law. Probably pretty well,
Absolutely fabulous.
All right.
Not a problem.
Three powerful superstars. Connecticut, and that is the Wild Child. Brand new engine for Mr. Perotti. And I asked him how he got the name for the truck. He said when he was 13 years old, he had his own CB, and his handle was
Wild Child.
You got that right, Jack. And now it's on the side of his truck, and he's here looking for some points and some money tonight. Nice shot of the wheels there, and there's the engine that, as we mentioned, is brand new.
Runs the new trick Pontiac, aluminum Pontiac heads on. They're flowing a lot better than some of the other heads that are out right now, and they are trick set up. He's got a new injection system, as you can see, peeking out through the hood of this 1953 Chevrolet. And it's a good-looking truck.
That's a classic, I would say. 53 Chevy, you're talking 35, 36 years ago. I would call it a classic, wouldn't you?
I would definitely call it a classic.
All right. Well, he's hooked in and waiting for the green flag at the other end. Again, a nice paint job, kind of a dark plum.
Rob's in a rebuilding period right now as he just converted it to a flip-top body on the truck, and he's doing a little changing work on the frame. He's also doing different work on it. You're going to see new paint on the truck, I would venture to say, within the next few months. And he changed the motor around, changed the setup on the truck, and let's see if it helps him all tonight.
He's got the green flag, and here he goes. good ground speed.
Well, it was a very good pull for Rob. I thought he did a super job with it. The sled's sinking in a little more as the evening goes along. I think you'll see it do that all evening long. Rob probably might have missed a gear a little bit. He might have liked to have that one over again to have a little gear change in it. But it was a good job in his part.
Well, tonight, the Wild Child has disciplined the track to the tune of a full pull. Rob Perotti. Well, here is Arnold Coburn. You know, in Canada, truck pulling is almost as popular as what it is in the States. Arnold hails from Toronto, Canada. Mike Galloway, who hails from Oklahoma City, is down trackside with Arnold Coburn. Fellas?
I'm with Arnold Coburn from Canada. And Arnold, how's the competition in compared to the States to Canada competition?
Well, the competition is getting good up in Canada in the last couple of years. Guys are starting to come around, and there's more pulling in the two-wheel class and the four-wheelers. And I think give it another couple of years, we're going to be quite competitive compared to the American boys.
Well, now, you've been coming to the States for quite a few years to run trucks.
Well, I got this truck now that I have. I built it in 1981, and at that time, the two-wheel class came in, and all the guys that had four-wheelers cut them up and made them into two-wheelers. So I said, well, I spent a lot of money on this, and the only place I had to go was come down to the States. So I ran down here up until 2 years ago, pretty well summer and winter.
Well, now, you run a big injected Chevrolet motor.
That's right. I have a 568 bow tie block. It's a Chev block, fuel injected.
Arnold's always successful in the United States. Let's see if he's going to be successful tonight with the Canadian Warrior.
Well, here he is, the Canadian Warrior, waiting for the green flag and trying to wow him down in the States.
He can do it. Looks good.
Oh, hold the back bacon. The Canadian Warrior might have made something here tonight. Arnold Coburn just missing a chance at the pull-off. 148 feet and 10 inches. A nice pull tonight for the young man from Toronto, Canada. And who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? Only the shadow. Yes, only the shadow. With Mike Slater from Grand Blanc, Michigan at the wheel of the '89 Chevy with the 572 coming right through the hood.
Mike Slater, I would say, has every chance in the world of putting one out. He's running on the left-hand side of the track. I think it's the place to be. He does it.
Oh, man. What a pull tonight for Mike Slater.
Went to the left-hand side of the track, Ken Brew. There has not been anyone over there. We know the track's good all over. Mike dialed in on that left-hand side and just zinged it right out the door.
It's called going to school. He went to school on the other drivers. He saw no one had been stage left, and he said, that's where I'm going. And he lined up that way and used it. He used the track to its fullest.
Watch him ease into this thing right out of the hole and then nail the throttle. Comes into it, and he's actually on a Sunday drive. The traction is like we saw for Paula Ewan, the first hook of the night. Excellent, because no one has been over there, and he just eases it out right there, backs out of the throttle, lets everything settle down, and he'll be back in the pull-off. What a great run for the Shadow out of Grand Blanc, Michigan.
The Tasmanian Devil will skip a turn right now as they work on apparently, what's that, the wheel, Mike? Is that what
left front axle, Kim Brew. That's the way you get into the left front axle on these. And he probably sheared one of the teeth off inside there. Could be a number of things, but they're going to try to get into it and try to get it fixed so they can run tonight.
Well, we'll come back to the Tasmanian Devil, but right now, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains, here is Oklahoman Ken Ewan from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The 86 Chevy with the 628 Rodak, another engine made in Norman.
Watch the truck. Paula's out. You know, Ken's got to have the horsepower. He's got basically the same motor. A little bit different driving style, quite a bit different driving style. Let's see if Ken can put it together. He's going to run the right-hand side of the track, I think. Oh, he's got speed. He's got the power. He's out of here.
Yeah! Out the door and halfway to Boston. The Oklahoman.
I saw that truck make never seen that truck make a pass like that, Ken Brew. Seen it make almost every pass it's ever made. But that one is one of the first because the truck squatted in the back, looked like it tried to pick the front end up, and then took the sled for the ride of a lifetime.
Well, let's look at it again and tell me, what do you mean it kind of squatted to the back? How is that different?
What's the
driving
front
style?
end pickup on?
Yeah, but I mean, what is he doing to make that happen? Just gear?
I think it's just the traction coming off the back tires. See, the tires are kind of pulled in together, and that's the way they set them. Throws the dirt away from the sled. The butterflies are wide open. The flags are flying in the air, and Ken, he has got a beautiful pass going for him as he just takes it right out the gate. It's a good pull. He's done a great job, but still we have not seen anyone go out with the ease that we saw Paula go out with earlier.
Well, it might be husband and wife against each other in the pull-off. Paula Ewan and Ken Ewan, both with full pulls and both in the pull-off. A great pull tonight for Ken Ewan and the Oklahoman. Meanwhile, zapped from heaven, the Tasmanian Devil apparently is out of the competition tonight. Mike Galloway pretty much figured out that they have an axle problem. It will keep the Tasmanian Devil from competing tonight. So going home unfulfilled, to say the least, is Todd Spasotto from Ashaway, Rhode Island. The Tasmanian Devil will not drive tonight. Well, here's a truck called Determination. Jim Knight, Hillsborough, New Hampshire, in an '89 Chevy. So we've got a brand new cab and a pretty good size engine coming through too.
Good shot of the sled, and the lights on the sled when the red light is on.
I mean, stop.
The sled is not in operating position. Now that light will change to green. When it does, it means the brakes have been released. The rider is ready to leave with the sled. That also tells the gentleman on the other end that he can give him the green, which has happened now. Let's see what he does. Does he call for the motor? And he does call. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Oh, man.
There's a man that went out and made it look so absolutely easy.
Yes, sir. The truck is called Determination, and boy, was Jim Knight ever. He has leaped into the pull-off with a full pull. Here's Jim. We'll have more modified truck pulling here from Worcester in just a moment.
Here it comes.
Ewan, the first tonight to go the full distance, will now be the first in the pull-off. And Mike, I think it's important to point out now that they will measure distance. There will be no full pulls at this point. They will measure distance, so the pull-off will give us a winner.
What we're going to see here tonight, Ken Brew, is the weight box coming up the ramp much quicker, transferring it from a rolling weight to a dragging weight. You're going to see that happen a lot earlier on the track. They're going to shut them down within the lengths of this track. It's going to be tough competition. I think you're going to have to get all you're going to get right out of the hole. I think you need to come as soon as you trip the throttle, as soon as you give it, you need to go wide open with it, try to get all the speed you can, try to get some momentum going your way. Let's see how Paula does it. She does it just like that.
Hey, that was all right.
That's a beautiful pull. The box topped out around the 100-foot mark, maybe 125, somewhere in that area. And then after that, Paula just actually drove it the distance. David checking the heat on it, getting a smile out of him. Finally, he likes the pull, and I don't blame him. I think it's going to be one to beat.
Might be a good idea to just step back and see who is in the pull-off along with Paula Ewan. Wild Child, Shadow, Oklahoman, Determination, all of these trucks, all 5 of them went the full pull distance tonight. And so now we will have kind of like a home run derby to decide who exactly will be the champion tonight in the 4-wheel drive modified competition. Good mark for Paula Ewan, 151 feet, 5 1/4 inches. Paula Ewan now has established the mark in the pull-off. The others have got to try and beat. Here's the Wild Child, and Mike, it looks like he's got some air out of those front tires. They seem a little bit lower than what we saw him the first time.
Well, it may be, Ken. It could need it for the bite. It's down a little bit, not a whole lot. I think he's got a good combination. He'll be right up amongst them. Let's see how he goes. Oh, early. It's a good one.
Going to be real close. It was a nice pull, a pull that seemed to go in stages, slow off the start, and then some real nice action as he got about 30 feet down the track, and then he, of course, when that box topped out, seemed to lose a little power. But nice driving tonight for Rob Perotti and the Wild Child.
Well, it was excellent all the way around. Rob did a great job with it.
Well, the Wild Child spanked the track, 143 feet and 10 inches for Rob Perotti tonight. Back comes the Shadow from out of the nostalgic years of radio onto the pulling track tonight in Worcester, Massachusetts. The Shadow and Mike Slater will try to catch Paula Ewan. And he did a nice job his first time down the track tonight.
I think he's got the capabilities. I think he's got the motor. He's sure got the driving style, and he has gone back to the left-hand side of the track. It put him in the pull-off. It could put him in the winner's circle. Let's watch him and see if it works tonight. 151.5 and a little bit is what he has to beat. He's gonna do it. I really think so. Let's watch him. Uh-oh, problems on the left bank. He may have leaned it out a little bit. That is very close.
It is very close, but there was a problem, Mike, that you mentioned.
I think what we saw there, Ken Brew, was he leaned out one of the cylinders on the left bank, and when that happened, burns the tip off of the spark plug and blows the raw fuel out of the exhaust pipe, and that's where we saw it come down the track.
In the pull-off, the Shadow jumps into second place right now with a pull of 149 feet and a quarter of an inch. Mike Slater in second place right now, but stand by for this man, Kenneth Ewan, who has to catch his wife. It could be all in the family. Paula's got the lead. Kenneth now with a chance to catch her.
It can happen. We're going to see if he can, but I think this may be Kenneth's night. Paula had the picture-perfect pull.
Oh, man.
Kenneth, I mean, they're all sitting right there in the same track, but he is doing a great job.
I watched the end of that pull, and his tire speed was so great, his traction so intense, he dug the track up and threw it behind him about 40 or 50 feet.
Well, he had a lot of ground speed. It was a beautiful pass all the way around. And here again, that truck picking that front end up. And, you know, I think that's something they've changed in the suspension on that truck over the past few weeks.
There's Paula.
Paula in the background.
Well, there's our new leader, Ken Ewan. 152 feet and 4 inches in the pull-off. He moves to the front. And there is Kenneth. He has to be very happy. I would think that his wife, Paula, would be happy, too. There's Paula standing with Bill Romsberg, the race burner fame. Paula has to be happy, too, because even though Kenneth knocked her out of the lead, that prize money's going to Oklahoma right now.
Right now, it's headed that direction. But there's a person right here with some determination to keep it somewhere else.
Mike, I thought of all the four-wheel drive competitors in the regular phase, determination seemed to have the best run. Now, the question becomes, can Jim Knight duplicate it here on the pull-off?
Well, 152 feet 4 inches is going to be a heck of a pass for him.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. He's waiting for the green flag. We told you the first time he was from Hillsborough, New Hampshire, and here comes determination. Determined, but unfulfilled.
Going to be on the short side of the street.
There's the congratulatory handshake.
Mike Slater, who was in that pull-off.
Yep.
Saying congratulations. Now you're seeing a big smile on Kenneth's face, and he's the kind of guy that he'll never say that he won one until the last puller has hooked.
27 years
Mike
old.
Slater in the Shadow finishing third. And then Black Gold with Paula Ewan behind the wheel finishing second. And the winner, Ken Ewan in the Oklahoman. And the guy who couldn't lose on this deal is the chief mechanic for the Ewans, David Collins. We talked to him earlier. Here he is now. You couldn't lose tonight, could you, David?
No, I really couldn't. It made, you know, all day long today worthwhile.
Kenneth, what did you do tonight, Dave, to prepare the trucks after the competition got going?
Well, we changed gears in both trucks after the competition got going, and hers twice and his once.
Take more horsepower tonight than you'd had expected?
Yeah, I really didn't think the track was near as good as it was, but it just kept eating up horsepower.
But all in all, the track ended up in real good shape tonight, didn't it?
Oh, I loved it.
I have no doubt about that.
Will Paula appreciate what happened to Kenneth tonight, even though she didn't win? I think that she's got to take a lot of satisfaction in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, as long as we can keep two trucks within a foot of each other, it really doesn't make a lot of difference which one comes in first or second, as long as that's the way they come in.
Plus, it'll give her plenty of incentive to go out next week and try to put hers a foot ahead of his, right?
Oh, yeah. She doesn't ever give up. In fact, neither one of them gives up.
Thank you very much, David. Once again, congratulations. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
David Collins, chief mechanic for the Ewans. Paula and Kenneth, a man who has a lot to be happy about tonight. Well, let me introduce to you the person responsible for all this mud here tonight. You want to meet her, Mike?
I'd love to.
And the emphasis is on the word her. This is Sherry Rumrill. Hello, Sherry.
How you doing?
And you got the track down tonight. Tell me about it.
Well, we got about 250 yards of clay with it, but we brought in from Portland, Maine on Thursday.
So it's Maine clay, huh?
Yeah, we have a hard time in this area finding good pulling dirt, so we went to Maine to get it.
Now, you said 250 yards. What would that be like? Like a backyard full of dirt? What would that equate to?
Just about. It's about 7 trailer dump loads, the big dump trucks.
Imported from Maine. Why Maine? Why not Massachusetts?
Because we can't really find any good dirt around here.
Is that
for
right?
The track, yeah.
I mean, so it's got to be a certain consistency. It just can't be anything that you throw down there.
Right. For a pulling track, it's a little bit different than a mud bog. A mud bog, we can basically use dirt, but here we have to have something with good consistency.
Now, Mike and I were noticing it seems to be wetter than most tracks that we've seen. It seems to have a real water base to it.
Well, when we brought it in, it was on the side of a hill, and it was frozen, and it was raining the day we brought it in. So we had to do a lot of work to the track to dry it out.
Now, how did a nice lady like you get mixed up in the sport of truck pulling?
I've been in truck and tractor pulling for about 10 years. Got into building the tracks about 3 years ago.
Well, we appreciate you joining us tonight, Sherry.
Well, I appreciate being here.
Listen, the track is holding up well. It's been a great evening so far. We appreciate it, and great work tonight.
Thank you.
Sherry Rumrill in charge of the track tonight, and she is doing a super job. And right here in the Centrum, we've got side-by-side dragster action. Canned heat against the Warlord.
Of course, they're making an exhibition pass side by side down the track, but it's a very close situation. There's Bob Zundell sitting deep down inside of his dragster. He just purchased that dragster recently from Bob Bauman. There's the Warlord as he rolls the slack out of the chain.
Waiting for the green flag at the other end of the track, and they've got it.
Warlord covers him out of the hole.
Whoa!
Man, that was great. I like that. Side by side, and it was just real close pulling right there at the end. Both of them were right on the ground, nailed in close, good hook. Front ends weren't too high in the air. It was a just beautiful pass.
It was only for fun. It was exhibition, but the Warlord edged out at the end. Well, here are the 5 trucks who have qualified for the pull-off. In order, the Rice Burner, Darth Invader, Kool-Aid Kid, Oklahoma Warrior, and the Orange Blossom Special. All have gone the full pull. Now they will go measured distance. And the truck that pulls the farthest will win. Rice Burner first out of the chute. Bill Romsberg, the '88 national champ, who'd like to drive it out the door the first time he came down the track tonight. We'll see what he does here in the pull-off.
Well, he squeaked into the pull-off on the first pass, and that was because he was drifting to the right-hand side of the track. I think he'll have that corrected. I don't think we'll see that problem when he hooks to the sled this time. Let's see what happens. Bill comes with the Rice Burner. Wheels up.
Well, I'll tell you what, there is a lot of fight in that truck.
There is going to be the mark to beat. It's down the track to good distance. It's going to be real close to the end of the track. I think we're going to see some people stretch it out a little bit before this class is over with, but it's a good start.
You know, Mike, that is a spunky little truck. It really is.
Beautiful, too. I love the white on it. I think the white's got a lot of class to it.
Sure does. The Rice Burner. The Rice Burner tonight in the pull-off, 150 feet, 1 1/4 inch. So Bill Romsberg has set the mark, and now the others have to catch him. One of those being Mike Slater in the Darth Invader. He went the full pull the first time out, but with the sled readjusted, we'll see exactly how he does with that box topping a lot quicker than what it did his first pull.
You know he's going to be tough, though. He just made a beautiful run on the first pass. There's no doubt about how tough he's going to be on this time. Got the track figured out. He's got it pretty well dialed in. I thought the truck hooked well the first time. I don't think he did any adjustments to it. Made this second pass in the pull-off.
That is a nice pull, and he did a lot of work with that box topped out.
We have just seen one total exhibition of horsepower. I mean total. The box top, the truck slowed down, but the engine didn't go down. The motor stayed up, and he just pulled, for no better word. He actually just forcefully pulled it. the last part of that track. It's great.
Well, Mike Slater has driven to the lead here in the pull-off, 153 feet, 9 3/4 inches, and the Darth Invader now becomes the truck to beat. You're going to have more two-wheel drive, pulling power. Vaderhead is going to be awfully tough to beat. Really is going to be tough to beat.
We will know in a moment. Bobby Johns has the capability. Sure got the driving ability. We know the old truck will work. Know the motor's alive and well. So let's see if the West Virginia Kool-Aid Kid can put the distance on them.
There's a smile on the pitcher. There is fire in the engine. And there is Bobby Johns behind the wheel. He's got the green flag, and he is on his way. I think he did it.
Hello.
Hello and goodbye.
Bobby John has showed these gentlemen the way home.
Yes, sir.
You can't get much closer than Bobby Johns is to the wall, as the visqueen they have up in front of it is blowing up against the front bumper. Now that's close.
If he gets any closer, they're going to have to repaint the stands.
Look at that, Ken. Look at that.
It's called kissing the plastic. And Bobby Johns has done it.
Well, he knew that he had to just go for all of it he could, because they're in the pull-off. And it's great.
They should call the Kool-Aid Kid. The flavor ought to be raspberry, because he just gave the raspberry to everybody else in the two-wheel drive class.
Bobby's just, you know, he's dialed on perfect. The track, he read the track extremely well, drove the truck great, and he just keeps on going and going and going until he is actually gone out. A great job. They're going to measure it. And look at this. Look how close Bobby sets it down to the end.
My goodness. Make it 174 feet and 2 inches. So here now is Kenneth Ewan. Kenneth Ewan, the first time around, 172. He's going to have to drive it through the wall now to even have a chance of catching the Kool-Aid Kid.
Well,
Kenneth Ewan, who has won the four-wheel drive competition tonight, is trying for the daily double here in two-wheel drive.
I think that's a good observation, Ken. I think he'll just have to kiss the wall to win this tonight. And let's see if he'll do it. You know,
Kiss it, he'll have to marry it.
A win means a lot, and he would do it.
Well, he's got the horsepower, he's got the truck, and he's got the green flag right now. But he doesn't have what it takes to catch the Kool-Aid Kid.
They could have some problems. And those are vent tubes that run back, and if you'll see there right in front of the right front tire, he had a lot of oil come out that blow-by, and there's the steam that's coming out of it now. But when that truck quit, we'll see it on the replay, that there was a lot of oil came out of that particular side of the engine. So
what would cause it?
Well, it could be a broken ring or something inside of it that's pumping that oil up on it. And
he started real nice.
Well, it looked extremely good. It really did. Let's watch Kenneth go down the track, and his crew standing down at the end of the track watching him as he went down. Front end comes up, it comes back down. He drifts over to the left a little bit. That hurts him a little bit, because he may touch the brake. But watch this right behind the front tire on this side. You're going to see a little bit of it coming out. Right there, quite a bit of it's coming out. And when it settles down, you're going to see right there behind the front tire, you'll see a lot of oil. See that coming out of it and kind of blowing out the side of it. Not a good sign for Kenneth, but hopefully everything will be all right on it.
There you see the remnants on the track. Game try by the Oklahoma Warrior, but it will not be good enough tonight. The Orange Blossom Special Will. Scott Dews behind the wheel tonight, filling in for Alan Gaines. He has got to better the mark that's been set by the Kool-Aid Kid. 174 feet and change. Good shot of the OB Special.
Well, Scott is not brand new to this operation. He has been around Alan and helped construct all of his vehicles and worked, loaded, and taken care of them for a long time now. Alan has got so many, he's had to split up the driving chores, and Scott is doing a great job.
not going to happen. The Kool-Aid Kid will win the two-wheel drive pull-off tonight. Game try by the Orange Blossom Special, but it was not enough. Here's the way the two-wheel drive truck competition goes down in the pull-off. Darth Invader, Mike Slater behind the wheel, finishing third. Then the Orange Blossom Special. And Bobby Johns, behind the wheel of the Kool-Aid Kid, wins the two-wheel drive competition tonight. Let's go trackside. Bobby's with us.
Bobby Johns, it was a beautiful ride all night long. You have to build a lot of confidence in that guy riding the sled, don't you?
Right, and just hope that maybe the hitch don't break, and then I go up into about the third row.
Hey, where do we get one of those sweatshirts?
Well, we'll get you that and a little bit of that West Virginia Kool-Aid.
Hey, we'll take that anytime. Bobby Johns, thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Bobby Johns, the winner in the two-wheel drive competition, behind the wheel of the Kool-Aid Kid here in Worcester, Massachusetts tonight. Well, we had dragsters side by side and funny cars side by side, and we had winners in both. I suppose it's only civil that we allow the dragster winner to compete with the funny car winner, and that's what we have right now.
Kind of a showdown of showdowns, I would think. Kind of a neat setup right there.
I think he's got the hook just about fixed. Watch how they started this. They have to start it. Is that nitro, Mike?
No, it's gas.
Gas.
They put in it. And
look at that. It got a little dicey. They're ready to go now, though.
Had a charge built up.
Whoa! Man!
My heavens, that was great, and that was so close.
Boy, the Nitro Express.
You know, Mike,
just that little urge where you were saying, well, wait a minute now. Does he know where the kill switch is?
Mike Hoff owns both of those vehicles. Look at the fuel coming out, burning on that Nitro Express. But he owns both of them. But his hired gun is driving the dragster, and I think it was one of those situations where, well, I can, and Mike said, I'll show you can.
I want to see the replay. We're going to see the end of the actual event, but watch how he just pulls up right before he gets to the wall.
Well, look at Mike. He's having to really dice it around. He jerks out in the lead about a car length right there at the end, but lets off of it, and that sled is locked up. They've got the brakes on it, and that was great, exciting action. You just don't know whether they're going to get it shut down before they get to that wall or not, and that wall doesn't give.
Well, the Nitro Express got it shut down and took the race. The Nitro Express.
Watch out.
For the monster trucks, got a big old rubber-wheeled vehicle. We also have a tank track truck here tonight, and they will go non-stop over these relics at center stage. Mike, this continues the big debate over which particular monster truck is more fierce and ferocious on these cars. A lot of people, the old liners, like the monster trucks. The new wave, I guess, are these track vehicles. I think either way you look at it, we're going to see some flattened relics out there before the night's over. There is the Black Stallion. The lights come on. And the F-350, owned by Mike Betters from Hagerstown, Maryland, is ready to do its thing. Pretty looking truck.
Ooh, it's beautiful. 13,000 pounds, valued at $125,000, and it is some kind of night.
Sits 11.5 feet off the ground.
Five-ton axles with Clark planetaries on it. Let's see how he works with the Black Stallion. Whoa, man! Kicking out. I'm telling you, he's up and running.
Oh.
This young man is trying to make a name for himself tonight with the Black Stallion truck. Look at the bed of this. Look how busy the bed is with the fuel tanks. He's got his hydraulics in there. He's got his batteries in there. Got a lot of things in a pickup bed. There's his fuel tank, his hydraulic tank, and his battery all mounted inside the bed of Black Stallion. Uses the front and rear steering to get it around.
460 Ford blown engine.
Full roll cage on the inside of it. Of course, Michael does his style with it hanging out a little bit. Here he goes.
Oh, my goodness.
Getting a lot of air. He's really getting a lot of air and doing a great job with the Stallion. This is a beautiful truck. The detail work underneath it is just, you know, a touch of chrome and a lot of good fresh paint on it. Shiny, glossy paint, and it's really nice.
I'm going to try it backwards now. Getting a good line on it.
Little back-up wheelie. And, you know, that's real hard on the drive line when they run them backwards like that.
It's going to take a running start here, isn't it?
Everything's lined up to go the other direction. You turn around and hit one of them backwards, and he's hitting it. Oh, man! He is just rocking.
That is a tough maneuver.
That is a tough maneuver, but that young man handled it with great style. And look at the crowd. They love it. You can understand why when you see the Black Stallion in action.
Here he comes again. A little more force. Oh!
You know, going up's not bad, but coming down and landing can really be tough on you.
I got to believe that, among other things, you got shoulders and back and kidneys that are just getting knocked all over the place.
You got to be 6 inches taller when you started than when you stopped. Back up wheelie again. I think he does probably the nicest back-up wheelie that I've seen anyone in a monster truck do. Getting that run at it, getting a lot of air, and then nailing the throttle. This thing's really kicking up and getting high.
Tell me the undercarriage has all removable parts, either chrome or shiny glossy black.
Ooh, he's hard on it tonight.
My goodness.
Well, quite an exhibition. I think he's going to put it over to the side. Give him a big round of applause. Yes, what they do.
I want to take a look at the backup wheelie again because, as you said, Mike, this is so difficult from a running start.
Well, keeping the truck in line is one thing that's difficult, but watching when he hits them, now he nails the throttle, sticks the truck right up in the air, clears all 4 tires, and then land. It's quite a chore coming off of him at an angle, but he took a beating and always does. But Michael doing a great job with this Black Stallion truck, and truly a young up-and-comer in this sport. Would anyone be interested in a used auto? As they will have several for sale right after this competition.
Not exactly. Mike Betters from Hagerstown, Maryland.
Well, the top quarter of it at one time was a 1989 Ford Econoline van. The bottom part of it is a vintage 1940 model M4 troop carrier. Weighs about 11 ton.
Wow.
Just unbelievable weight in this thing.
1940.
Yes.
Vintage World War II.
That's even older than I am, Ken. Boy, when it hits with a thundering force.
He's steering that with sticks, Mike, as opposed to a wheel?
It has sticks that locks the each one of the tracks to turn it around with. And a lot of these guys have got these things really so they just spin on a dime. And of course, this is the first appearance for this Battle Cat. The first time it has ever been out in a public appearance. And I'm sure that he's still got a number of bugs to work out of it for the Battle Cat. 1940 model.
Pull it back out, I would think, to turn around.
He'll take it back outside, turn it around, try to get him a little room to spin it around. Pulls the brake on one side, as you can see, and works it around and moves it back and forth and maneuver from side to side. The 22,000 has just kind of destroyed that one side of the car. It just wiped them out.
What do you do once you get it lined up? You kind of hold on for all you got at that point?
I think you close your eyes and go for it.
Well, there's what's left of the cars, and the Battle Cat now will, I would think, try to build up a little speed as he comes up this time. That's what he's doing. Here he comes.
Thundering out of the hallway. He's got the speed. Let's see what he does with it. Woo, he gets some air. He gets some air and comes in real hard. This is... gets more air out of this. You got to figure you're slinging 11 tons in the air. So it's a feat in itself to get this thing off the ground, and he does it right there. You see him clearing the track, the ground, and everything getting in the air. Look how it's kind of shaking him around on the inside, and he really takes a beating. We've seen several times in these tanks. They're tough to ride on.
A Battle Cat tonight really puts on a show here in Worcester at the Centrum. Mike Galloway, we saw some good action tonight. 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, a big night for the Ewans, and a nice exhibition tonight in the monster trucks.
I thought it just absolutely was an excellent show all the way around. The 4-wheel drive class was super tough. And then we came back, supposedly didn't think we could top that with the competition. but that two-wheel drive class was absolutely as good as I've ever seen in any arena anywhere in the country. And you finish up with the Black Stallion and Battle Cat. Great shows.
All right, like the Duke in the movies, Mike Galloway, superb job tonight.
Thank you, Ken Brew, and we'll see you soon.
Down the road. The Budweiser U.S. Hot Rod Truck Pull Championships, featuring the Battle of the Monster Trucks, has been brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood Aged, for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Now, this is Ken Brew speaking for my partner, Mike Galloway, reminding you that this has been a presentation of Bud Sports, aired through the facilities of ESPN. Good night, everybody.